Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my studio. This is Paint with Lovejoy. Thanks so much for joining me. If this is your first time here, please subscribe to the channel and check out the other videos. And if you're here for a second, third, or fourth time, thank you so much for coming back and getting creative. Alright guys, this is going to be another fun Dr. Seuss painting for my first time painters. So grab your supplies, transfer your traceable to your surface, and as always, make sure you take your progress photos. Now on my traceable, I went over it with a black Sharpie marker for those of you at home that are going to pause the video and draw what you see. So if you're using the traceable, don't worry about doing the black Sharpie outline. So what we're going to do first is we're going to start with the background and we're going to stick with warm colors. So we're going to start with a light yellow, and that's going to be a mixture of white and yellow. And you have full permission if you want to do different colors, feel free to do that. We are keeping kind of with the light colors next to Horton, and then we'll be getting a little bit darker with our warm yellow colors as we move out towards the edges of the canvas. Now, if you're one of my first time painters, take a deep breath right now, relax. You're doing a great job. I'm really proud of you for painting at home and giving this a shot. So just kind of relax and enjoy the process. Now I am using student grade paint and I'm applying it kind of thick, so it's allowing me to blend. And you saw that we were using the yellow. Now we're using a yellow-orange color combo, and that was yellow with a touch of orange. We'll go a little bit darker in the next round. And again, we're just kind of building on what we did before. So starting in kind of light and then getting darker towards the edges of the canvas. So now grabbing a bit more of that direct orange and filling in the remaining space of the canvas. Like I said, it is student grade paint, so apply it a little thicker. It'll make some of your blending a little bit easier. And while you're doing this, play with the pressure of your brush. More pressure and your brush strokes will show up a little bit more. Light pressure and you can get a bit of a smoother effect. And again, for my first time painters, just play with all these different processes and, just kind of find what's comfortable for you. If you even feel like finger painting, go right ahead and do that. So do anything that you want to your background now, any bit of blending. You can use your fingers to finger paint and blend. But when you are done, pause the video, take your progress photo, and then we're going to move into a smaller brush and light gray. And we're going to kind of do the same thing. We're going to put our base color on, and then we'll go a little bit darker gray for some shadows. Now, you notice that I grab the white a couple of times, so you do want to go kind of light gray, similar to what I'm using, but if your color happens to be a little darker or lighter than what I'm using, that's okay. And same, you have full permission if you want to do a different color for Horton. All right, and I am just painting right over those traceable lines. We will kind of reapply it with some medium gray next, and we're going to kind of take this in sections. So right now we're going to take that same pile we were using and add just a little bit more black to go to a medium gray. And I want you to observe where I place it on here and then mimic that to the best of your ability at home. And like I said, your gray may be a little different than mine. I want you to go 1 or 2 shades darker than what you are using at home. And this is so we can do some of our blending and create a bit of a value. This is our shadows that we're putting on for Horton. And by putting the color on top of it and then kind of blending it in, this is called wet on wet blending. And here you can see where I'm grabbing some of that direct white, blending it right in there. That white does change really quickly. And now I'm going back to making that light gray and filling in the rest of Horton's head and trunk. And then we'll do a medium gray for his legs behind him and a little more shadows. All right, so again, if you're holding your breath, take a big inhale, just relax, keep painting. You're doing a great job. It does take a lot of courage to paint at home, so be proud of yourself. And painting's not about being perfect, but just kind of transforming the white surface into something you made. And while you do this, you kind of escape the world for a little bit, and that is my personal favorite part of painting. So continuing that light gray up into the ears, and then we'll be moving into that medium gray again. You're doing great. Oh, actually, we're going to do white first, put a little highlights on there on his nose. I forgot about that part. And you just kind of place that white on there, and then with light pressure, go back and blend it into that base light gray. All right, you guys are doing great. This is coming along nicely. So now we're making that medium gray again. And we're going to put that on his back, on his legs, his little butt. We'll do some shadows on that as well. So as you go through the process today, and you are one of my beginner painters, you are strengthening your power of observation by watching what you see on the video and then doing your best to kind of recreate that on your canvas. This is a big skill in the art world and really kind of in life. But the more observant that you can be, the more your artwork can grow, the better human being you can be in the world, in life. So the strengthening your power of observation is great for everyone. All right, so now going a little bit darker than what we were just using, and this is kind of a darker gray, just because we had the darker base to begin with. So again, going 2 shades darker than that medium gray you were just using. And again, observing it where you see me place it, and then just mimic that on your canvas. If you are inclined, if you've got an inkling to kind of put a darker shade somewhere, I do not. Trust that inkling, that's your instincts kind of guiding you in a good direction, and kind of go ahead and do that. Put the darker color, the specific color where you feel inclined to put it. All right, so still going back with that medium gray, we're going to fill in those ears, and same thing, we'll go a little bit darker with the darker gray for the inner ear, then we'll add some white on top of it. So with this painting, you're getting great practice with your wet on wet blending, with applying your paint kind of thick and getting good coverage, and remembering to just relax and enjoy the process. All right, so now we took that darker gray and got the inner ear a little bit darker shadow, and now going back to that medium gray for the other ear, kind of recreating the same process again. So I do encourage all my students, please try to find a creative outlet on a regular basis. It's good for your mental capacity. It's good for the health of just you and your family members, because the more creative you are and the more outlets you have from your everyday life, the more balanced you kind of are as a human being. And this is a good place to just kind of escape any of your stresses from your regular working life or just life in general. All right, so again, we went in with that darker gray for the inner ear, and then a little bit of white. We're going to fill in those eyes, and then we're putting a little bit of that white on the tips of the ears. And again, just notice how I kind of slap it on there and then wipe that brush off, and then go back in with light pressure and blend that into that darker gray or that medium gray. And each one of you is going to find a different kind of groove for this, so just kind of keep light pressure. You can go to your finger painting if you want. But you're doing a great job, and you have transformed a white surface. So we are putting some white on those eyeballs, going right over the pupils, and I do want you to let this fully dry before you move into the next step. All right, so just adding that white in a few spots on his body, and again, blending that in. And then I do want, like I said earlier, I want you to fully let this dry before we move into our next step. So pause that video, take your progress photo, and we're going to move down to the small pointy brush, and light purple. We're going to put the little Who world on there. So we're starting with light purple and basically just kind of making a dot, and then making that dot a little bit bigger so you have kind of what it looks like he's holding a little lollipop. And then from there, I'm just going to create little dash marks kind of radiating out from this circle. And then we will do that with purple as well. So as you make these dash marks, hold your brush kind of like a pencil, use just the tip of the brush, and make little radiating dash marks. And then same thing with the direct purple right on top of it. It's a nice little fuzzy little Whoville in there. All right, now we're going to move into the black paint and doing our outlines. And we're still using that small pointy brush. You can move back up to that medium flat brush if you want and use it sideways. And as you're doing your outlines, you are getting comfortable with your brush control and your brush pressure. Light pressure is going to create a skinny line. More pressure will create a bit of a wider line. And for my first time painters, if you have variety of width of lines on your painting, that is okay. Your muscles are learning a lot. You're getting comfortable with the pressure. And the next time that you go to paint something, your muscles are going to remember how to hold the brush, and it's going to remember this pressure, and then you're going to just build on the skills that you're learning today. So that's why I stress that painting's not about being perfect, but just kind of increasing your skills, your comfort level with the process of painting. And again, that's why I encourage you to find creative outlets on a regular basis in your world. All right, so again, just kind of filling in. I am making the lines a little bit wider because I do want them overlapping Horton a little bit, as well as the background. And this does give it kind of a cartoony pop art feel, and it just kind of helps clean up any of the maybe messy blending lines or transitions of your colors. So have fun while you're doing this. And also while you're doing this, if you need to, if you need to turn the canvas upside down or sideways or put it on your lap, anything that you need to do to make it more comfortable while you are making these lines, go ahead and do that. Now, it is kind of hard to see what I'm doing because I've got the video kind of zoomed in, but I am resting my forearm against the edge of the table to kind of give that my steady pivot point compared to trying to hold and hover my arm above the canvas. So give that a try. Or you can even put your pinky out, put that somewhere on a dry spot on the canvas, and then use that as your pivot point as you make these lines. Again, as you paint, you're just finding your comfort zone and getting more comfortable with your process of painting. You're doing great. And again, remember to breathe. If you are finding that your brush is kind of shaky as you go to apply these lines, that means you're holding your breath. So if you exhale as you touch the brush to the canvas, that will help your process. And don't worry, yeah, I do the same thing as a professional painter. When I'm doing something new, I end up holding my breath as well. So it's just part of being human. And again, we're going around the eyes, and if you need to, feel free to reference the Traceable again or the original final image. And if you feel like adding anything else, if you want to give extra decorations, or if you want to do this maybe in turquoise or white or a different color, please go right ahead and do that. And no matter what you paint, please email me your photos of what you paint. I thoroughly enjoy seeing those, and I try to post as many as I can to social media to encourage other first-time and beginner painters to give the process a try. All right, getting those little pupils in there for Horton. And we do need to put a little stem for Whoville, kind of so Horton has something to hold on to. All right, and now we're going to take some white, put a little catch light in there. And if you're looking at that black pupil, we're putting that catch light at about the 1 o'clock spot on both pupils. And then there are a few things I forgot to add. Like I said, trust your instincts if there's anything that you want to add to this that I do not put on the canvas. This is your painting, make it your own. And feel free to gift this as a gift to your friends and family. I'm really, really glad that more and more people are giving handmade gifts again. All right, just these last little final details. Everything is optional. If you do not want to add something, you do not have to. So thank you guys so much for hanging out and getting creative today. Don't wait too long to do your next painting. And until then, cheers. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the process of painting, and I hope you are happy with how your paintings turned out. I'm really proud of you for getting creative. As you're uploading these to social media, please tag me at or hashtag paintwithlovejoy, or email me your pictures, paintwithlovejoy@gmail.com. I really enjoy seeing them. I try to post them on social media to encourage other beginner painters to try the process of painting. But please share this with your community as well. Anybody who is kind of scared to paint, share your experience with them and let them know kind of how much you benefited from it and how much you enjoyed the process. So kind of share the fun. With that being said, if you have any comments, questions, feedback, things that you want me to paint in the future, please leave a comment. I try to respond to everybody as quickly as I can. And any of the future suggestions for paintings, I add that to my production list and get to them as quickly as I can. So in the meantime, please keep getting creative. Let me know how you're doing. And until next time, cheers.